Hello everybody and welcome to a Java tutorial. Today I'll be showing you your very first few steps on becoming a programmer. So if you haven't yet done so, go ahead and download Java in the Oracle site. I'll link a video down in the description of how to do that, just in case you don't have Java installed. But if you do, and it looks something like this, doesn't have to be IntelliJ, then you want to create a new project. It might be up here, it should be up here. Go to project, get the latest version of Java, click next, and then when it says project name, just name it whatever you want. I named mine over here, YouTube Toot, and that's just basically the files where my programs will be in. So once you go ahead and click finished, you should probably see something like this if you're in IntelliJ. So to get a Java class going, you go into new, select Java class, and select a name. And I guess I'll call this tutorial. So we just made a class called tutorial. So what does class actually mean? Well, for a beginner, that's very hard to understand, but once you do a few programming projects, you'll get a grasp of it. A class basically, probably to put it the best way, is it's like a data structure. So say you have like a toolbox where you have all your tools in it. Well, a class is just like that, and you have methods inside the class that do specific tasks for you. I think that's the best way to describe it. Public, what does public mean? It just means that every every other class in the same project is able to see this class, which is called tutorial. By the way, guys, it doesn't have to be called tutorial. I can name it anything silly like A, B, anything silly. So it doesn't have to be explicitly tutorial. You just name it. I just named it tutorial because it's it's a tutorial for you guys, so it makes sense to name it tutorial. It's a naming convention. Speaking of naming conventions, always have a capital letter in the beginning of your class names, otherwise, in my experience, Java just doesn't know how to handle it. So anyway, with that out of the way, let's create your first method, the main method. So we go public. Remember, public means it can be seen by everyone, but since this isn't a class, this is a method, every method will be able to see this. So and then we go static. Don't worry what that means. Void main string and args. Now I know this will probably look confusing for those that are completely new to programming, but for now, just know that inside this method, everything runs by it. So if you want to execute a function, or a statement, sorry, it will be executed in the main method. So let's try and make your Hello World project. So let's start off as outputting something to the console. So we go system. System is a class like tutorial. So system dot out println, and use these in parentheses, and this is where you'll be putting your argument in. So you see there, we make sure you put the commas in there. Now if we try and go ahead and run this, you can see that Java, this little symbol pops up. What does that mean? It just means that for every statement, for anything that doesn't have a scope, you must place a semicolon. What's a scope? So a scope is what something can, what is inside something. So for example, tutorial has these methods. So from here to here, it can see everything from here. It can run everything from here. Same with methods in here. So from everything starting from here to here, it runs everything inside here. So once we put that here, once we run it, as you can see, process finished with exit code 0. But there's nothing on the screen yet, but we do have 2 empty lines. So let's try and make that a little more interesting. So just go ahead and type hello world. And as you can see, the string outputted, or the console outputted a hello world to us. So that's fine and dandy. Now, a few things to clarify with Java. Java reads lines from top to bottom, so you don't have to worry about weird stuff where if you put something on this line, say int x is equal to 9, sorry, why not 9? Just missed my keyboard. You don't have to worry about it, like changing a value up here to 2. And as you can see, it doesn't. There's a little red there because it doesn't work. Can't resolve symbol x because it's Java works in sequence. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. Now let's start with variables. So we have int. Let's call this age. This here doesn't really mean anything. It's just used for humans to be able to read it. So people like you and me. So go age. What is my age? My age is 19. That is my age. A little personal information there. So now you know what this means just by reading it. Age. What does age mean? It means my age. But what does X mean then? It's 19. Well, you don't know. That's why we have naming conventions. So int age equals 19. And let's put a string here. Sorry, no. I'll describe what an int is. And I'll describe what a variable is first. So an int is just an integer. It's just a number ranging from negative infinity to positive infinity. But in computers, they can't really do infinities. They can only do a limit. And I forgot how to do that. Maybe it's integer.max. Yeah. Maybe? I forgot how to exactly do it, but it's 2 to the power of 64. Pretty much for both ends, so for negative and plus. But anyway, you'll never in ordinary scenarios, you never use those numbers. Age. Again, it's just a variable name. So think of algebra, and you pretty much got it spot on, except these variables actually contain a value, usually from the get-go. So like here, you don't have to try and find out what age is, it's pretty much already stated. So that's nice and dandy. So, age is 19. And we're going to say system.out.println, and we're going to say I am, and we're going to add here, and we're going to go plus, I am age plus Sorry, I have a hard time seeing my computer here because it's dark. Age plus. So I am plus age plus 19 years old. So go ahead and just put your age up here and copy this if you want to. So what does this do? Well, let's run it and find out. It says, I am 19 years old. So this means this outputs to the console, but this specifies what to output to the console. But what does this do? Basically, it uses a process called, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, concatenation. Now let me just get rid of that. So basically it just puts a int and formats it into a string. And for Java, make sure to put a plus sign at the back of the variable and in the front. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, guys. This is for the next tutorial. I think we're gonna move on to if statements. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.